Hey, what's up everyone? Sharing my endgame starter here real quick. It's a true summoner playstyle running a lot of minions with insanely high DPS. All I can say is a bunch of Enraged Reavers destroy everything. Make use of the timestamps if you want to skip around the video. So I'm starting out mapping here on a 3-link main attack and only 2 trials. Trade for a trial token so you can get this done. I would go with the Hellhound next. Have 20 DR all of a sudden. Yeah, the game would be so easy if I would have this. But since this is solo self-found character, it's a little bit scuffed and wonky, of course. Yeah, we can run a wild mix of minions, but I always go back to these Reavers. Like the more the better. It's just insane to enrage them and buff them up with the offerings. So this is just a random tier 2 map here. Sometimes I run the curse, sometimes I run Crops Explode or Detonate Dead. Also, what I figured out is the Summon Raging Spirit flamewall mechanic could get kicked out of the build, but as for now, as for starting out, as you can see, they are not that tanky. So it's good to have some minions all the time. So it all reserve spirit, right? Even the Raging Spirits, the proc. If I don't do anything other than Reavers, I can walk around with 13 enraged Reavers and they just burst everything down. That's so crazy. It's good damage, it's really good damage. But yeah, as of now, we have 1 healer, 11 Reavers, and the Raging Spirits from Flamewall. Just play Minion Manager and dodge everything. So I would always engage with my defense totem here first, then drop the damage one. I pretty much enrage the Reavers on cooldown. Curse costs a lot of mana, so I really use it only against elites. Map complete. Yeah, the curse costs a lot of mana, therefore I have lowered costs in here and so on. So that's my skills. Maybe start out with this here. So there are different weapon types. So this would give 2 free minions, which can be equipped with like nice gadgets with Cutting Strike and so on. But yeah, there are different weapon types of those, right? The important one is the increased spirit in percent and the level 2 minion skills. And this one comes with this aura here, so it gives me my minions lightning resist. That helps a lot at the beginning. Yeah, with that out of the way. Other than that, raise shield. I'm using a shield because this shield block is just too good, man. Let's talk about the good stuff. Pain offering, bone offering. The way I've set it up in the passive skill tree, so when both are active, it gives 40% minion damage, which is insane, of course. The support gems here, I can recommend this one, Minion Mastery, because they are not totems or whatever, they are just minions which give an AoE buff. So the minion skill plus skill is very neat here. I got this one, 30% increased buff, 30% increased buff. This one, that's the defense one, bone offering. We have some resource shenanigans, why not, why not. More area of effect, so maybe I place it, right? I can just move more freely. I don't know exactly the range of the defense buff, but it's not too bad. It's what I have for now. Then still the flamewall Raging Spirits shenanigans. They can get kicked out of the build, but I think that's like final form unlocked then. Okay, when the regular minions are tanky enough, might be a good idea. But I'm still in this between setup, so still rocking Flamewall. Now very important, super cheesy, hidden tech here. I use a low level Flamewall, because it's just about proccing the spirits. And all the remaining skills, they already cost a decent chunk of mana. And I don't want the skill that I have to spam to be expensive, of course. So therefore I re-rolled a low level one with a new gem. So the mana cost is next to nothing, right? 28 mana with a 700 mana pool plus mana regen. Doesn't move, barely doesn't move as much as I click. And I have the more cast speed because that's the only thing that matters to get the Raging Spirits out. Speaking of those, they need to be activated here. And when they are activated, they reserve Spirit. So without them, I could run even more minions. But yeah, activated them. A Fire Pen here. And maim, they maim on hit. And when they are active, they are always active. I don't know if they take that quite literally when it's activated, active. But yeah, precision here. Very weird. And someone can help me out in the comments here. But if I put this in my aura, it doesn't work. Or does it? At least it does not reserve spirit. You know what I mean? And it says supports persistent buff skills. Here's the keyword persistent. I don't know if it's kind of bugged or I don't know. It's a weird gem. I added this just recently. I share it. I don't know. I cleared the map with it. But yeah, accuracy here. Then the curse. Ignores armor. My stuff is all fist damage by now. Of course, they deal a little bit of fire damage, but it's about those enraged Reavers. It's fist damage. Inspiration, so it's cheaper and it's better effect. I'll talk about all the other minions in a second here, but here, the Reavers, okay. Before I had Brutality, I was using Fire Infusion. And I'm not even sure if this is even better still. But while leveling, try this setup, okay. All you need is basically Feeding Frenzy and Fire Infusion. That's it. That's how I killed all those egg bosses. That's how I melted the bosses in the intro. That's how I killed this one boss. I skipped basically. He was dead before he could enter the phase. Insane, okay? These are insane minions. They deal so much damage and they have their ability here called Enraged. And it's absolutely over it. If you click this button, 10 plus of those Enraged. With the 40% buff from the offerings and the armor ignore curse. It's madness. It's really, really strong. But yeah, they are not that tanky. Therefore, I like to run one healer in addition. Not too bad, they are super cheap. They only reserve 20 spirits. Can lower the spirit cost, of course, by leveling them up, but in my case it's 20. They have cooldown recovery rate for them, so they can spam their cast spells better. Meat shield, so they are more tanky. They don't deal damage, right? And Ellie res here, yeah. My remaining minions. So sometimes I like to mix it up. It's situational. In some certain maps or against certain monster types, it's better. Like this is a boss killer setup also with only the Reavers, but sometimes it's better to mix it up a little bit. That's also a good setup. Okay, 5 snipers, 5 melee. Brute and 1 healer. That's also neat. Okay. Well, could even go up to 2 healers. Look at this. That's also nice. Can recommend it. So would need to test this out and so on. So either 11 Reavers or a nice mix here. So the snipers, they have Culling Strike, Acceleration, and Martial Tempo. The Bonk minion is fire infused, can ignite. And has Behead. This is like a Headhunter from POE 1. Absolutely insane. Of course. If I could wish for it, just link this fully, right? And have Behead here. And I don't know, the attack speed probably. It would be absolutely insane. It's already insane. But yeah, having those links. But I'm just saying, right? Can steal the effect from a rare. I will start by explaining you the holy trinity of this. So I scale up life, therefore I have more spirit, therefore I can fit more minions. More minions mean more damage. Baydards will, is my ascendancy point here. So first ascendancy this, it's whatever, and second ascendancy this, super important. Unlocking that means immediately 3 or more minions, depending on the life pool. In combination with Lord of Horrors, minions have less reservation. So, and all of a sudden, even with trash gear, you have like 10 Reavers, 12 Reavers, which they shred everything. Remaining skill tree here. The way it is right now, it's a level 69 Infernalist, and the difficulty of making a minion build, right? So it's actually a, yeah, it's a bulletproof build. You have a bunch of minions, they kill everything for you, but it needs to be the right balance between minion damage, minion survivability, and my own survivability. And due to my level restriction here, I have the minion damage and I have my own survivability. Okay, and I'm planning in the next few points to make the minions more resilient, especially against flat DR and against chaos damage. I think this will help in maps a lot. With that being said, I'm starting out here with the minion nodes. Of course, get all the minion damage. I'm gonna go down here, grab more minion damage, who guessed it, and this one is huge. Bolstering presence. Increased effect of auras from your skills. So I run 2 offerings. They are way better now with this node. And when I have 2 offerings up, I have 40% more increased minion damage here from this upside down cross, which is just a crazy multiplier. Furthermore, of course, more minion damage. Also, this is all minion damage to unlock Lord of Horrors. To make me a little bit more tanky, I have those 2. Thought Flash and Loose Flash. This recouped as life effect is pretty useful. It's not like God tier or anything, but it helps. It helps a lot. Then a very important one is here the revive speed for the monsters. I have it here as well. Relentless Death gives 25. This one gives 15. This one is huge. 40% increased life for the mobs. And Relentless Fallen, movement speed, attack speed, accuracy rating is super important also to really shred those bosses. Then to scale up the minion damage, I have crit multipliers. So I went for a Grip of Evil here. Minions have 40% crit damage. Crit damage, and massive crit chance from Necrotic Touch here. So you might wonder, my amulet is crap. It only has crit damage. Well, that's fine. The crit damage goes to my minions now. I have my old amulet here. This is my old amulet, okay. With 1-2 level of minion skills. And this damage conversion here, like this, is way better. It's way more DPS. It's better than a plus skill. That's what I'm trying to say. That's the skill tree as of now. And the basic explanation. As I mentioned probably a few times, I want to scale up the monster's tankiness more. I will go into Left Hand of Darkness here to give it a flat 20 DR and 23 Chaos. So I get a 2-in-1 here, really good. For only 2 more points, I can give him all resist. And stuff like that. Also, with my skill tree, I reach every jewel socket. I should have started trade, man. I would put here insane flat added minion damage, minion crit, whatever, all the good stuff. So I have all those in reach. Here's another one for only 1 point. On what I also plan next is, I mean, this would be really endgame for me, like level 90, 95 plus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. If I would gain a charge, allies in your presence gain the charge instead. That's big. Give him power charges, give him frenzy charges, and so on. But yeah, with level starting map character around level 70, I have no idea how to get power charges on my character as of now, right? On a solo save found. Maybe on trade you can just buy a legendary or whatever, boom, there it is. So that's gonna be a crazy multiplier for sure. It depends on how far I can get with the level of this character. But for a few points down here would be a strong minion node. Gives a check of all traits, all rares, HP and damage. That's alright. And I already started skilling down here a little bit. So it would grab me a little bit of mana regen, because my gear is so bad. And I have none of my items and so on. But so I would grab me a little bit of mana regen, go over here, and grab this node. More damage recouped as HP and even flat HP. To round it up with the scaling from Baydar's Will Ascendancy. My gear is the following. So the Scepter here for increased spirit and minion skills. The rest is just fancy extra as of now. And I also can craft this up more. The head, 1-2 minion skills, life, and good all resist. Or good resist in general. It's important. I would recommend at least having some res for maps. From my personal experience playing this. So no minus at all. Then I was good to go. Chest piece here. Spirit, life, resistance. The amulet. Again, thanks to the passive nodes. Necromantic Talisman. This should be a crit, whatever. Just crazy stats. Just crazy. The stats you would give a melee character. Just all of those on the amulet. Then I like to wear a shield. There's a Giga stat stick here. Gives life, strength, dex. I have a better one than the stash. But it requires more strength. So it will be a decent block chance as well. The gloves, whatever, HP, stats. The base stats depend on, like in my passive tree, it's a wild mix here. Strength, int, dex. I mixed and matched it according to my items, so I can have all my gems active and so on. So this depends on the gear. Belt here, chunk of life, strength, my jewelry, and the boots. Just still the old boots from like Act 1 or whatever. Yeah, maybe as a conclusion for the build and for the video. It's fairly tanky. Oh, nice level up here. It's fairly tanky. It works with next to no gear. I should have started trade, man. Of course, the monster tankiness is up next, of course. But thanks to this defense thing, it also counts for me, of course. It's just a chill build. Nothing too crazy. I mean, I'm level 70. And the summoning spec is insane in POE. Like there's so much you could do. I could add Unearth for an insane amount of minions. I could add different minions, not only the Reavers. And also, if there's people watching that are like new to the game and not familiar with Path of Exile in general, I will just say this real quick. This is of course nothing in terms of what we can do in this game. It's not even 10% unlocked. There it is, the level 70 starter build for the Infernalist in Path of Exile 2 early access. With the most amount of minions possible, with the least amount of gear required. The true minion playstyle everyone likes so much. Thank you so much for watching and have a nice day, guys.